Did you know James Monroe, the fifth President of the United States, was the last president who was a founding father of the United States? Fascinating, right? Born into a planter family in Westmoreland County, Virginia on April 28, 1758, James Monroe was the eldest of 5 children. His parents, Spence Monroe, a carpenter, and Elizabeth Jones Monroe, ensured that their son was well educated, fostering a deep love for learning that would shape the course of his life. When he was just 16 years old, Monroe's life took a dramatic turn. Both of his parents passed away, leaving him the family's small plantation and the responsibility of his younger siblings. Despite this weighty responsibility, Monroe knew the importance of education and decided to continue his studies. He enrolled at the College of William and Mary in Williamsburg, Virginia, where he studied law. However, his education was interrupted in 1776 when he dropped out of college to join the Continental Army, driven by a burning desire to serve his country in the Revolutionary War. His family background and education played a significant role in shaping his political ideology. Monroe's humble beginnings instilled in him a deep appreciation for hard work and personal liberty, values that would later shape his political career. His education, on the other hand, provided him with the necessary knowledge and skills to navigate the complex world of politics. Monroe had a fascinating early life, filled with hardships and triumphs. From losing his parents at a young age to dropping out of college to serve his country, his life was anything but ordinary. But these experiences were not in vain, as they set the stage for his significant contributions to the United States. His early life was a testament to his resilience and dedication to his country. It was these qualities that would see him rise from a simple planter's son to the 5th President of the United States, leaving an indelible mark on American history. So, James Monroe's early life set the stage for his significant contributions to the United States, beginning with his service during the Revolutionary War. James Monroe was not just a president, he was a war hero too. In the annals of American history, James Monroe holds a special place. As the 5th President of the United States, he carved out a path of leadership. However, before his presidency, he was a young man with an unquenchable thirst for liberty, a man who would not hesitate to put his life on the line for the cause he believed in. As the Revolutionary War broke out, Monroe, barely 18, dropped out of college to enlist in the Continental Army. This was a decision of profound consequence, a testament to his commitment to freedom and independence. He was not merely a passive participant in the war, he was right there in the thick of it, a soldier on the front lines. Monroe's bravery and tenacity were on full display at the Battle of Trenton. In the freezing winter of 1776, he led a successful attack against Hessian forces, even as he suffered a near-fatal gunshot wound to his shoulder. Despite the pain and the peril, he pushed forward, illustrating the depths of his courage and dedication. This gallantry earned him the respect of his peers and superiors, including the future first president of the United States, George Washington. As the war progressed, so did Monroe's military career. He rose through the ranks, eventually reaching the status of lieutenant colonel. His leadership, his tenacity, his unwavering commitment to the cause of freedom, these qualities did not go unnoticed. They marked him as a man of exceptional character, a man who could be trusted with the responsibilities of leadership. Indeed, it was Monroe's conduct during the Revolutionary War that laid the groundwork for his political career. His resolve, his bravery, his dedication to the United States. These were the qualities that would define his presidency, that would earn him a place in the pantheon of great American leaders. His bravery in the war laid the foundation for his political career, showing his dedication to the United States. Monroe's political journey was nothing short of remarkable. His political career was a staircase, each step opening doors to larger roles and greater responsibilities. We begin with the Virginia House of Delegates. Elected in 1776, Monroe was a young, energetic delegate, eager to make his mark. He held a steadfast belief in the rights of the common man, a belief that would echo throughout his career. Next, we climb to the Continental Congress. Here, in the late 1700s, Monroe was an influential force. He championed the rights of Western territories, arguing for their fair representation and advocating for their interests. Ascending further, we find Monroe in the U.S. Senate. He took the oath of office in 1790, becoming a leading voice for the Democratic-Republican Party. He was instrumental in shaping the Louisiana Purchase, an event that would redefine the map of America. Then, we reach the governorship of Virginia. Serving not one but two non-consecutive terms, Monroe proved his leadership mettle. His tenure was marked by progressive policies and a vision of a united, prosperous Virginia. But Monroe's ascent didn't stop at the state level. He was appointed as Secretary of State under President James Madison in 1812. He juggled the roles of Secretary of State and Secretary of War with a finesse that was nothing short of extraordinary. In these roles, Monroe oversaw critical negotiations, navigated international crises, and even spearheaded the country's military strategy during the War of 1812. His experience and diplomatic skills were pivotal in shaping America's foreign policy and military strategy. And then, there was the presidency. After a lifetime of public service, Monroe was elected as the 5th President of the United States in 1816. His political journey had led him to the highest office in the land, a testament to his dedication, his leadership, and his unwavering belief in the American people. All of these roles prepared Monroe for the highest office in the land, the presidency. Perhaps Monroe's most enduring legacy is the Monroe Doctrine. This policy, declared during his 7th annual message to Congress on December 2, 1823, was a defining moment in American foreign policy. The Monroe Doctrine was born out of a need to respond to European colonial ambitions. In the early 19th century, the newly formed United States watched as European powers continued to vie for territories around the globe. Monroe, recognizing the potential threat to the young nation's security and sovereignty, decided to take a stand. The doctrine was simple, yet bold. It declared that the Western Hemisphere was no longer open for European colonization, a clear warning to the powerful nations across the Atlantic. It also stated that any attempt by a European power to control or interfere with states in North or South America would be viewed as acts of aggression, requiring U.S. intervention. Monroe was essentially drawing a line in the sand, asserting that the United States would not tolerate European meddling in the affairs of the Western Hemisphere. This was a significant shift in American foreign policy, marking a transition from a relatively passive stance to one of assertive protectionism. The Monroe Doctrine wasn't just about keeping Europe out of America's backyard, though. It also asserted the United States' role as a dominant power in the Western Hemisphere. The doctrine implied that the U.S. had a kind of big brother role to play, promising to protect its neighbors from European interference. This policy had a profound impact on the United States' role in the world. It shaped the nation's approach to international relations and set the stage for its rise as a global superpower. It also influenced the United States' relationships with its neighbors, establishing a precedent for intervention that continues to shape American foreign policy today. The Monroe Doctrine, then, was more than just a policy statement. It was a bold declaration of independence, a clear signal that the United States was ready and willing to assert its interests on the global stage. The Monroe Doctrine, a cornerstone of American foreign policy, defined the United States as a dominant power in the Western Hemisphere. After his presidency, Monroe lived out his remaining years dedicated to his country. Retiring to his Virginia estate, he continued to serve the public, taking on the role of a statesman, always ready to offer his counsel to those who sought it. Yet these years were not without hardship. Monroe, like many of his fellow founding fathers, found himself grappling with financial difficulties. His years of public service had left him in debt, and his pension from the government was insufficient to cover his expenses. Despite these challenges, Monroe never wavered in his dedication to his country. His financial struggles only underscored the sacrifices he had made for the United States. Even in his final years, he was a symbol of the Revolutionary War generation's commitment to their newfound nation. In 1831, Monroe passed away, leaving behind a legacy of public service that would inspire future generations. Monroe's legacy is not only marked by his presidency but also by his lifelong commitment to the United States. His influence on American politics extended far beyond his time in office, shaping the nation's early years and laying the groundwork for its future. He was a dedicated public servant who worked tirelessly for his country, embodying the ideals of the Revolutionary War generation. His most significant contribution, the Monroe Doctrine, continues to be a cornerstone of American foreign policy. This doctrine, which asserted American sovereignty over the Western Hemisphere and warned European powers against intervention, has shaped the United States' role in global politics for nearly 2 centuries. James Monroe, the last of the Revolutionary War generation to serve as president, left an indelible mark on the United States, a testament to his dedication and service to his country. His life and legacy serve as a reminder of the sacrifices made by those who fought for America's independence, and his contributions continue to influence the nation he helped build.